All right, guys, what is up and welcome to the channel. Here again with another review. I missed last week's review. I just got too busy and I wasn't able to get the review out for last week's episode. But yes, I'm back again with another review of Tulsa King. We are in season 3. This is episode 7 entitled The Art of War. Now, before I give my thoughts / review, guys, I got to give a score. And if you're new to the channel, my scoring system is 0 to 5, 0 being a master, or 0 being trash, and 5 being a masterpiece. And so, what did I give this episode? I gave this one a high 3.5, almost a 4, 3.5 out of 5. So, with that bit of business out of the way, let's go ahead and let's get into my thoughts on the episode. So, we had some things going on, but there really wasn't a whole lot. There was like one major storyline, but we'll talk about Tyson. We'll talk about Tyson first, and then we'll kind of go into what I thought was the major story. But so we're with Tyson. We're gonna talk about Tyson. And my whole complaint for the first few episodes of this season is the growth for this Tyson character, because I feel he's somewhat it's like an Arrested Development going on. Like at this point, he should be far into his maturation process of being in this gangster world. But to me, it just seems like his growth has been stunted. And this episode, we're starting to go in a direction that Tyson is starting to, I guess you could say, somewhat mature and maybe somewhat find his place in the group. Because I think a lot of times he was the driver, but he wanted more, but didn't know how to get that. And through speaking with Goody in the episode, Goody kind of gives him an idea on how he started his hustle and to how he moved up his maturation through this world. And so Tyson gets the idea, or the idea is presented to Tyson, is robbing a fraternity. They go in as fake cops along with Spencer, who is, she knows the college students, knows that world, and then Goody. So Goody and Tyson, they dress up as fake cops. After getting intel from Spencer, they go in, they rob these guys, they get them for the drugs and money. And the funny part is one of the guys from the fraternity house, he recognizes Tyson. Like, he's like, hey man, we have freshman criminal justice together. You a cop now? And so, it's kind of a funny scene, but they rob them, they get what they need. Of course, Goody takes his cut right off the top, 50% of the cash. He wants nothing to do with the drugs. Spencer and Tyson work out a deal because Spencer, she knows the DJs, she knows bartenders in the town. So she's like, I can sell all this in 10 minutes. And so she wants 50% of the drug sales. So Tyson, he's found somewhat, or he has his first mission as an earner completed. Now, where he goes from here, we don't know. Will this be a continuing enterprise with him, with these three, Goody, him, and Spencer? Time will tell. We'll see. But it's good to see him starting to make, like I said, get a little bit of that maturation and moving up somewhat, I guess you could say. I still don't like the character that much, but I do like they're showing some kind of progression with him. So it was good. It's good to see that. So, all right. So the main story is, this one involves Dwight, Thrasher, and the Attorney General. And I guess you could throw Dunmire in there as well. But the thing about it is, what Dwight lacks is his influence as far as in the political world. We saw that with Dunmire. Like, Dunmire, don't get me wrong, he as far as a villain, physical, all that stuff, the intimidation, he's got that down to a T. But his influence, like, he has the political, legal, like, that influence is super powerful, and so he flexes that. And we saw that in the last episode with the Attorney General, how he can just stroll into this man's office without an appointment and tell him what is what, and it gets done. So Dwight has to figure out a way. He initially tries to approach him and try the approach route, try to give him his sales pitch on how I'm a better guy to have in your corner than Dunmire, which the Attorney General's like, I'm not vibing with that. No, I'm good. So he turns to Margaret for some help. Margaret ends up sitting down with the Attorney General's wife, And that's the one thing about it. These hens get together, they get talking. Well, Margaret gets with Dwight and starts talking about basically the AG's wife is dry snitching about just how all the troubles in their marriage and all this and that and the other. And what we find out is the AG is a degenerate gambler. He's a degenerate gambler. So they use Thresher to set him up. They meet at the casino, Dwight's casino. They meet at the casino. Thresher, who has no idea what's going on. He's a pawn in this whole game. So he's sitting down. He's trying to get, because Margaret gassed him up to be like, hey, sit down with the AG. Hey, if you get him to endorse you, this will put you over the top. Because Thresher, he's feeling himself right now. He's like, my Q scores are great. The people are starting to feel me, but she's saying, no, if this guy endorses you, this will put you over the top. So of course, Thresher, he sits down, he's trying to talk with old boy and get him to, but he ain't trying to hear that. And then that's when Dwight and the team, they start getting it going. So like they go up, they offer him a bunch of chips. They're like, hey, it's rare that we get people from this extinguished parts of life in our establishment, and we want to thank you. We want to give you a courtesy. Here are a bunch of chips. Go knock yourself out. So he's at the craps table, and I mean, I don't know anything about craps. I don't play craps, but he's killing it on the table. He's killing it. He's feeling himself. He's winning the money. So if you're the degenerate gambler, they don't know how to quit. They don't know how to quit. When they go on them runs, he's going on this run, and Cal is just like, you could see the unease. Like Cal's like, hey, hey man, that's good. And he's not trying to hear anything Cal has to say. And then the switch happens. They change out the dice. Grace brings in some trick dice, and then he starts crapping out. And then like it's to the point where Thresher's like, hey man, don't you think? And he's like, he's going off on Thresher, and Thresher starts to figure out what's going on. He's like, okay, Dwight has his hands in this. And so Grace, they come back to him and go, hey, we're willing to offer you like $100,000 credit or whatever, to keep going or whatever. And of course, being a degenerate gambler, he takes the money and he ends up losing all the money. And of course, when he's down in the pits, Dwight out of nowhere drinks around the house, and he figures out, oh my God, I've been played. And basically Dwight, we don't really see it, but basically Dwight talks him into coming over to the good side. And of course, they're allowed to distribute now. The hold on their distribution, like they're allowed to, the business is back to booming. Of course, Dunmire comes in, he's pissed off. He's going to town to the point where he attacks the AG and he gets put in jail. And once again, I talk about the influence. You seeing how even the cops are like, hey, sorry, Mr. Dunmire, I'm just, no disrespect, no offense, we're just doing my job. And he's like, you know what? Don't worry about it, son. I'm not even thinking. Don't you think twice about it. I just need this time to clear my head. And, he's basically saying, clear my head and see where all the pieces are, and I make my move then. And so we leave with Dunmire in jail. So some other things I wanted to talk about. We also have more of Spencer and Cole, him getting more close and close to her. He's starting to, tell his feelings, he's being a little tender dick, telling, speaking about, his feelings about her. And she even tells him, hey, because he's like, I don't want to open up. Like, he's afraid to open up to her. And she's like, telling him, like, look, if they knew I was talking to you, I'm putting myself on the line. And then we also get a scene, like I said, I'm predicting it that Cole is going to turn on his father. He's got to, because once again, his dad's just coming in, berating him. Just, golly, he's like, yeah, the truly the good die young, and he's blaming him for the botched assassination. He can't do anything right. There's nothing he can do right that, Jeremiah Dunmire, his father, will accept. It's that bad. It's really that bad. And so I think once again, like the father, I think Jeremiah may find out that he's talking to Spencer, and he may threaten Spencer or try to hurt her or something, and Cole's going to turn on him. I could just see that happen. I think Cole's going to turn on him because, like I said, it's only so much you can beat on him. Everybody has a breaking point. And I think he's going to reach his breaking point. Now, will he kill his father? I don't know, but I think he's going to turn on him, one way or another. So, but yeah, guys, all in all, that was it as far as the episode. When we didn't see Bill, no Bill Babalakwa. We haven't seen him. He's still locked up with Musso has him. So it'll be interesting to see, what does he have planned for him? Is he a backup because Dwight ain't really on board? The watchmaker, we haven't had any contact with him, and we haven't met Samuel L. Jackson's character yet, which I thought we would have met him by now, especially since we were in New Orleans in the last episode. I thought we would have maybe seen him or got some kind of hint or something, but we haven't met that character yet, and we know he operates in New Orleans. So yeah, that was basically it on a solid episode. Like I said, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So I'm sure they're going to ratchet up the action here in the next few episodes, because guess what? The season's almost over. The season is almost over. We will be going into episode 8 next week. So it's crazy. It's just flown right by. So yeah, guys, that's it basically as far as the review goes. Like I said, guys, if it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes, or the whole damn video, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe, smash the like, get in the comments. Tell me what you thought of this episode. Anything I missed, or, anything I didn't talk about that you maybe seen or pointed out, definitely get in the comments. We'll get the discussion going. With that being said, everybody, it's your boy P sign off. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.